Welcome back, guys. This is how to play 100 Soul with Veil, and today I'm making this video based on the Duelist and based on doing your collections and kind of the best way that I've discovered to do that. I've also planning to make this video with a friend in mind. Her name is Bunny, and she uses an Ice Duelist, so I'm going to be talking about that. I just did this method myself. So this is my character on the Korean server, and she's 73. Pretty easy. I've taken a casual approach, so let's see. I guess I've been playing it for 3 weeks. Anyway, so I want to show you about Duelist, mainly because it's one of those items that you get at the very beginning that is so good that it really carries you into like chapter 9 all the way through, and even more. Duelist is going to be used for higher bosses in chapter 10 and 11, I think it is. Primarily the fire duelist and the ice duelist, both of them. So getting them and enchanting them up and upgrading them is wise because they all share the same skill points. My skill points are kind of low, but this is where I'm at right now. So on this server they give out a free tier 8 ticket instead of a tier 6 ticket, and instead of giving you Lady Grey at the end of 7 days to save the world, they give you Tiki. So I haven't even started building her yet. I wanted to come over here and use Slain because he's about to come out on the North American server, and obviously he is fire and air, and he's got 3 air. He's also weakened, and he's got it down too, but that's after you open all of his secret skills. But primarily he is fire and air. So that's perfect for the Duelist, even if it's nice Duelist. My current plan, honestly, is to go with kind of a freezer burn type of approach. I've honestly considered renaming my character that, but this is the goal. So we have an ice air dragon fang up here. I'm going to use this Pegasus. Got the new armor that's now out also on the North American server called War Lion, which looks pretty cool. Let me just show you. There. Anyway, Slain, right? And then I have this necklace and a ring and a belt. I have a belt coming that's going to replace this belt, and eventually a necklace that will replace it. But Gigantic I won't be using for the long haul. That's why I haven't built him up in his illusion halls like I have built Slain. So I want to use Lady Grey. I'm saving up for her right now, because she is, well, I'll just show you. So if you look at her skills over here, she has air and slow on her special that you use. Then she has a freeze, which I'll probably toggle off because, you know, if they're frozen, they get stuck to the ground and you can't get them in the air with the Dragon Fang, and you need them in the air. Then she has another slow, which she does a lot. Then she has this, and then she has a down at the very end. But primarily for her slow and air, she slows a lot, which is awesome for player versus player. So I have a slow and an air companion here, and then I have Slain with a fire and air companion. So the goal is honestly probably to use an air, fire, and weakened sub-weapon, which is called the legendary Heretic Shield. I'm gonna get that, but you know, Bianca, I gotta raise her up. So that's kind of my future goals. But the same principles apply with the Duelist. Like, I could do that same idea with Duelist, Ice Duelist or Fire Duelist. I could run with Lady Grey and Slain because they have air, and you want them in the air for the Dragon Fang just like you want them in the air for the Duelist, because that's when you are able to grab them and do the most damage. So anyway, let's go back. Right now I have a fire armor on because I have a fire duelist. So ice duelist, honestly, if you had the ice duelist, you would want to go with, I think I've already told you that, but we might as well just show you again. The heat defender. So down there it's got cold attack boost. Doesn't have as much HP as fire armor, but that's fine for the lower levels. And then once you get legendary gear, Warline of course is going to be the best, so that's probably the best gear you should level up and enchant. But the second best is going to be in the Advent section. Right here, Shadow Templar. So that helps you, it phases you through so many attacks. It's really good. But if you had a choice to build up one of the two, Warlion is the best one to go with. But anyway, on to collections. I've been doing that today, and I just kind of wanted to show you what I have been doing, and I think it's the most efficient idea that I've had so far for collections in the monsters area. So I have chapter 2 is finished, but what I've been doing today while I'm at work, it's just, I'll set my phone aside and let it go. Granted, I am 73, right? But I also have some enchantments. Getting this necklace, I think I told you about, is really important because of the rage gain on the bottom. And back attack boost is really good in this game for certain weapons. So this is perfect for the duelist. And once you get to tier 6, it gives you that rage gain. Before you get to tier 6, it doesn't have rage gain on it. But getting into tier 6 is pretty easy. I have the wrong ring here. This is, honestly the better ring is this one. I haven't started building it yet, but I will. So that's the ring I told you to get, but for now. So I've got them enchanted. I've got that enchanted from the rare stones, rare enchantment stones from the very beginning of 7 Days to Save the World. I think I focused on these two first, the ring and the belt, and I got them to like enchantment 2, and then I got my weapon, my duelist, up to enchantment 3, and the armor to enchant 3. And then shortly after, I picked up this from crafting in Pandora, the necklace, and then I picked up a fire gun, and I've just gotten multiple duplicates of the fire gun, and so that's gotten that to enchant 2. And then eventually you start to get more enchant stones, and you'll learn how as you read my guides. But anyway, I have a pet here, a legendary pet, so I've been building her up as well. And the only way to do that is to just run with them on and go through levels. Same for the karma gear. If you want to build up karma gear, just equip it and just run around and get experience, and it will level it up with experience anyway. So, collections. I thought this was a cool approach. The typical approach is that you want to go into chapter 2, and then you want to click metal missions, and then you start with normal, and you do all until 24, and then you do hard, and you do all till 24, and then you do the hell till 24, right? And that's going to give you all these passive buffs over here in the green. But I found a more efficient way, because when you do that, it's fine, but like, let me give you an example. Chapter 4. So let's say I go in and I clear this normal, right? I clear it up to 16 times, right? And then I'll go home, and then I'll go to collections, I'll come back to monster, and then I'll go back to chapter 4 to collect my missions, my emeralds, once I've completed it to 16. But did you see how many screens I just went through? That takes time. And if you're at work, I mean, you're there to work, really? Really, not to play a game. But my job, I have free time, so So I figured out this way. Just watch. Let's see. Alright, so what I'll do, I'm not going to take the time to just record it all, but instead of going through all those screens, instead of focusing on normal, right, I will focus on normal. I'll go here, and of course I'll turn on my hot time so I can get more drops, but more experience, mainly for the pet and the karma gear. So I will go and I'll complete this guy 16 times, right? And then once I'm at 16 and I'm on the finish screen, instead of going home directly, I will hit exit and come back to this screen. And then I'll click over here on the left. See, so normal, hard, hell, right? I'll click hard, and then I'll do 16 and 24, and then I'll get 24. Once I'm finished doing 24, I'm going to ignore the hell version, because that's going to take my attention. I'm going to need to be present at the game so I can actually use my skills to defeat the boss quickly, right? But normal and hard at my level, and at pretty much 10 or 11,000 team power or battle power, your character can just handle normal and hard just by basic attacks with your companions. So I will finish the hard, and then I will go back. Instead of going home to collect the emeralds, I'll go back and I'll click on the next monster, and then go to normal, do all this normal first to 16, and then I'll go to hard and get that to 16, and then I'll go back again and go to the next monster and go to normal, get that to 16, go to normal, get that to 16, and then go to the next monster, and just keep doing that all the way from chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably to 7, based on where my character is. And it saves you so much time. You don't have to go through all these screens. You use more of your hot time because you're fighting with your hot time instead of going through various different screens. And at the same time, like, whenever you're done, you go home. I just did it so I don't have it as an example, but you go home and then you go to monster and then you start collecting all of your medal missions, and you just go from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, and you just collect all the emeralds that you get from it, and then you can start over and do that again. But yeah, I just thought that would be a helpful piece of advice for you. Outside of that, let's see, is there anything else I can teach you? Sure. Something that might be helpful as you companions, right? As you're leveling up your companions, like Slane, for example. I don't have a lot because I've focused in on my targets. Like, I know what companions are better and which ones aren't as good. You'll read that in some of my guides. There are other premium companions that are just the best ones to get. So, but on the Korean server, it was a lot more difficult to get emeralds outside of using the collection system. Doing arena is very difficult because everyone is like 15 to 18,000 team power, and it's just crazy. But it's fine. I'm handling it. But yeah, so the first companion I bought was Slane. Excuse me. Because I wanted to use him as a new companion before he came out on the North American server, so I know what I'm doing. And I know what gear set to build that would be the best. So I did buy him, and then pretty much all of my emeralds were focused on buying extra keys and then putting them into Slane's illusion halls here. So now that he's full, I saved up my emeralds again. Sorry, there's a trash man here at work. So I saved up my emeralds again, and I bought Laidmilla, and she is like the secret weapon of this game. She heals so well that she will help you get through really difficult bosses that you just can't beat, because you end up outliving them. And she doesn't just heal, she also breaks every time she heals. So she breaks their super armor, weakens them, and when their super armor is broken, they're able to take on more elements and damage. So you start out, of course, with Gigantic, and the more you do Special Battle Tower of Summoning, see Nazriel is getting 5 companion shards right there if I do, you know, this next floor on the Tower of Summoning. The more you do Tower of Summoning, and I try to do it once or twice a day, like I'll just do, and I'll do play it, and I'll do all 20 stones up at the top, and then once the 20's done, I'll recuperate, usually at night, and then I'll do it again, and then while I'm sleeping, I'll wake up and it's full again. So, but the more you do that, the more companion shards you're going to get for these first 5 companions. Nazriel, Gigantic, Lalika, Lucinda, and Karen. And that's perfect for Gigantic because he's an air. I've toggled his down off, so he's just using air skills, which will throw the enemy up in the air more. I did put a little bit of Illusion Hall in Philippa at the very beginning, but she wasn't my concern, since I was going straight for air. So I chose Fire Duels, I have Slain, Fire, Air, and then I have Gigantic, and that's worked for a good while. But I haven't built him up in Illusion Hall, so he's still pretty squishy. But, so I saved up, I bought Slain, right? I leveled him up. Instead of saving up and buying another companion, I used the emeralds that I saved up to buy extra keys each day, which was like 8 of them. So I'd have a total of 11 keys, and that helped me get Slain up quick. Then I saved up and I bought Milla. She's almost full, right? And then after she's... Actually, at this point, I'm already saving for a new companion. So I'm just taking my daily 3 free keys and I'm putting them in my Milla to finish her out. So I'm saving up 7,000, because it's a little bit different on KR server. 7,000 emeralds, and then I'm going to buy Lady Grey. And then I'm going to roll around with Lady Grey, who's slowing my opponents, and putting them in the air, but also with Slain as well. So the whole reason I got onto companions is mainly because as you level them up, right? As you level up these illusion halls, and I try to start with the resistance to all status effects because that's the most potent of the defense in my opinion. Then I'll go for super armor. Oh no, I'll go defense, then super armor, then crit rate. But not everyone has those same, you know, like she has 3 defense and a heal and a health. Everyone has different ones. But anyway, after you level them up, as you level them up, their secret skills will come available, and ether imprints will come out available. And I just wanted to show you this as the conclusion to our video, to see what ether imprints to choose. Not based on me, but based on one of my guildies in the Korean server, who's really good and a completely free-to-play player. Like, she doesn't even have a character skin, I don't think. Anyway, so I'll show you her, and then you can refer back to this video as to which ether imprint you should choose for all of the companions. So this will be quick, so I'm just going to do it so you can pause and check it out for yourself. So companion, alright, Nazriel. Okay, Gigantic. Lalika. Lucinda. Karen, which is kind of useless to me. Arcane. Tombnist. Down duration increase. So he's all about down. You typically want to go with the skills that they already have, but physical attack, as you can see, is a common thread. The more physical attack you build, the better it is. And that seems to be standard, but in this game, it's different because when you're in Guild War, certain guilds have buffs. They buff your stats. And so if you build up crit rate might not be effective in Guild War, sadly. So physical attack is always going to be effective. Crit rate for sure, but some of the stats are just situational. Lady Grey. I would probably choose this to airborne damage if I had the choice. Tio. Kiki. Nikki, really helpful for Death Scythe. My favorite companion. I'm sure you could tell why. Not only is she cool, but she's hot. Lady Terror. Raven. Einar. Solar. Kaylin. Yeah. Ayudmila. Spiked shield. That is so insightful and strategic. That's good. Tanya. RK. Which I don't even have her on my main. She's kind of useless to me at this point. And my man, Slate. Alright. Thanks for watching. See ya.